Damn.
And so here we are today. So through that, actually, I met a family friend of ours, or just recently became one. He's new to the area, but he got contacted to be a sports agent. And at the time, he was an Eastern women's soccer coach. And that would have been illegal, because it's like recruiting your own players.
Yeah.
And players can't talk to agents. But so he referred me to the agency's head director, honcho, CEO, FO kind of dude. Spoke with him. He's like, "Oh yeah, we do this, and that. You have to take this course, and then
so when you
become a
like explain
agent."
a little more, like elaborate. What is it that they do? What did he talk to you about?
So I would represent players to either becoming pro or who are already professional. And then I sit in between the player and whatever team it may be and negotiate contracts for them and stuff like that, try and get them endorsements and sponsorships. Sounds all very fun and very cool, but it's pretty tough, especially when you're in the middle of a pandemic and you live in Cheney, Washington, you can't travel anywhere.
Yeah.
So what are the hardest things to do with that job right now? Is it just travel, not being able to go to places?
Yeah, just because I could be, watching players make a couple trips to California, and watch players there or meet college coaches face to face and tell them what I'm doing and stuff, which was my original plan. So right now it's all via Zoom and emails. And like when I got certified to become an agent, I was, asking the agency, what's next? How do I, reach out to people? Do I reach out to people or do you guys give me contacts? Mm-hmm. And that was all over email. So it took sometimes I'd email them 3 times and get a response back 2 weeks later.
So where are they out of?
Portland. But they said none of them are at headquarters in Portland. They're all working from home. So it's all just electronic right now.
And you haven't met any of them? You haven't met any of them in person?
Just Zoom meetings.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Would they help you find your first client, or is it kind of dog eat dog right there?
Yeah. Because if they're referring to someone else, that's money lost from them.
Yeah.
Dang. So you really have to go there and find the players.
I have to find the players. They are in great contacts with teams. They said they're in strong contacts with about 3/4 of the MLS and USL. So they got good connections. It's just finding the talent and commissionable talent is what they said. So that's kind of the tough part. Because the players, you think oh yeah, this guy could do it. He can go pro. He'd be fine. 2-3 years, everyone would know. They're not about it. They're not trying to take any risks. What they need is up and now and ready to go. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense from a business perspective. It just sucks from an American soccer fan that hates the stereotype of American soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be very frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of does make sense. You don't want to throw your marbles or your eggs into one basket with one player that's never played at the professional level.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Do you know?
Yeah, but
what were you gonna say?
I was just going to say sometimes you gotta take risks.
Yeah,
100%.
Dang, that'd be tough.
Like my arguments were Jamie Vardy, N'Golo Conte started at Leicester City, 3 divisions from the top level, and they won the highest level that you can win trophies. Some people, it takes time. Not everyone's on the same track. It's just giving the right people the right opportunity and the right belief. I think anyone could do it or become one of the best.
Yeah. I feel like with those restrictions, it's kind of hard for you to break in, into that industry, because it's if you're coming in with, it'd be different if you could get a player that you really believe in and they're okay, let's try it out. Let's kind of see what potentially has. But if they just want people that are already experienced at that level and to come in and do well with the professional team, then that kind of poses you with a more difficult task of recruiting a player that's already pro. Because it's you're new to this.
Which, if they're already pro, they probably either have an agent from their club or an agent before that club,
Yeah.
And then on top of I'm a new agent. I don't have any backstory that they know of. They can't really trust my opinion because I could be just offering them, whoever. So,
So how do you break in then in this industry? Like, you just have to kind of get lucky and find a good player, and then he goes on and he's successful.
Yep, and that just builds your credit.
Damn.
Like right now, I emailed them because Portland's not too far from here. It's about 6 hours away, so it's a drive, but it's doable. And I was like, they haven't been replying to my email, so I was like, hey, I'm coming. I'll go to Portland, meet you guys face to face. Is there a time and I can do that? I'm like, oh, well, no one's working there, so you can't. Oh, that's good. I'll just wait another month for you to reply to my email.
Dude, that's frustrating.
Jeez,
That's a red flag right there.
Oh, no, it cannot be. I spent a lot of money I spent my, what was that? Stipend check.
Stimulus
Check to become an agent.
Nice.
Was it like a course that you take or what?
Yeah, it was an 8-week course. It was pretty cool, actually. Like, you get to learn. It's not like that you, as a soccer player, you don't really know these things. It's now you're more aware of them, like the business perspective of it.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of things you already figured, but now it's just like, oh, like that's actually real.
Yeah, and it's like stuff we've never had to deal with because we're not pros. You're not dealing with contracts and you're not dealing with wages. Do you know what percentage you would get if you were to sign a pro player? Like, how does that work? How do you make money?
You get to choose because I'm an independent contractor, so I get to choose my commission. From what I've heard, dude, it was super cool. I actually through the class, I had to talk to a former a coach, a former pro, someone who is pro, or like a current coach, and I talked around and told people about it, and I got to meet an ex-Newcastle player, and he played for Newcastle United for I think he had a 7-year total spell at Newcastle, and then played in the Premier League for 12 years, I think it was.
What's his name?
Oh, geez.
Okay.
I don't even remember.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I can't leak my contacts. That's why I can't tell you.
I feel. You're like, I had to sign NDAs. I'm not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, that's the reason why. And so yeah, I got to talk to him, and he was saying that those type of agents, they try and do like between 15 and 25%.
That's what I've heard. It's around 15 to 25 of the contract.
Those contracts are much expensive, but because I was trying to go for people I personally knew, I was just going to do either no commission or 5%. Because at that point, I'm not really worried about money. I got 2 other jobs that can produce that for me. I'm just trying to get this guy who I think can do it to do it. And didn't really work out. So
yeah, man.
It's all good though.
It's kind of crappy when your heart's in the right place, and you want to help people on or help people move on because they have the skill and the potential, but the industry just doesn't let you,
Yeah, that was the eye-opening experience. So I just got to expand my horizons, figure out new ways. I'm definitely gonna have to probably do a road trip to Seattle, try that out, go there, talk to coaches and whoever I can, give it my business card, and we'll see.